All right, guys, so I got just a little bit more time before we head out to eastern Colorado and get to our trailer and see our parents and stuff for the weekend. And I'm gonna try and get these Timberins on. They're usually fairly easy, so long story short is there's like 3 steps. Remove the existing bump stop, assemble the new one, and then just says mount the new Timberin system using the existing holes and OEM fasteners. So you can see right here, the original bump stop is probably held on there. I mean, they're super tiny, so I'm gonna take one off and I'm gonna show you guys. They gave you some extra shims just in case we need them. So you can see right there, that is the OEM one, so it's super dinky. I'm gonna get my socket wrench out. I'm gonna take these 2 bolts off, and then I'm just gonna replace it with the new one and the shims that it comes with. So let's see if we can get that done. All right, guys, so specifically for your truck, the F-250 is going to take a 15 millimeter deep socket to remove the 2 nuts that are holding that on. Now you're going to reuse that hardware, so obviously you can see right here the difference. And basically this is like a progressive spring, so all these do is when this comes down and contacts, that's basically your little bump stop. So that's what gives between your axle and the actual plate that's on the axle itself, and just kind of gives you that's where it stops. Now what this does, this fills the void, so even though you're not touching it, it's going to give you a little bit more stability. So I recommend these because they're super cheap. They give you a little bit for that sway and that control, and you can install them for about 10 minutes. Now they're going to come in the box separate from themselves in pieces. So when they come in the box like this in 2 pieces, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this with just a little bit of silicone. And then what you're going to need is to be able to drop this through this hole down there into a washer. And then that part is going to bolt straight to that. Now you're probably saying, well, how the heck? Well, one of my favorite tools in the garage is one of these magnet tools. And basically, it gives you the ability to extend yourself down there to get that in the hole itself. You wiggle it around, and then it shows right through. Super cheap. That one's a Craftsman one, but I mean, they sell them in Harbor Freight. So once you get that through there, you're going to start feeding that through there. Get yourself a long extension and a socket. In this case, this is a 17 mil. We're going to tighten that down on there once we get that started, and then it's going to look just like this. And then it looks like we can install it whichever way you like. They're identical. And then the shims themselves, there weren't any on the truck, so we should be good. So stand by. All right, so got those assembled. They're good to go. You won't need to use any thread lock. Again, we're using the factory shift shims and everything like that. And then, yeah, we're gonna get these up underneath the truck real quick. So far, this installation's probably taking 10 minutes for this one side. So, and we're going to clean this up and we're going to save this. Always save all your OEM stuff, just in case you want to take this off, use it on a new truck. A lot of these years, they'll bump up and still be the same, so you can take them off, put them back on your new one. So, all right, so stand by. All right, so just real quick, that's what that looks like removed. Again, no shims on there, so we're just going to put it up on there and get it bolted down. So let's get it underneath there. All right, guys, so you can see right there, that's kind of what it looks like from the top. This is what it looks like from the bottom. So you're supposed to have 1 inch to 1.5 inches. There's no exact science to that. It just says there should be a gap. Again, that's made to contact, but you can see from there on this one, we got about 1.5 inches. Let's check out the other stock side before we take it off. So again, here's the other side. And you can see that one probably got about 5 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this other one installed real quick. Now on this side, there's a little bit more stuff to work around, but again, this is nothing. I'm doing it in shorts in about a half hour's worth of time. So let me get this other side latched up here, and like I said, if you just need to work around it, you can get on the ground. If you want to, you can take off the wheel or tire, but not necessarily needed. All right, guys, got them tightened down. They're both in. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty easy install. Now, each truck's gonna be a little bit different. But do you need to remove the rims and tires? No, I don't think so, not necessarily. I had to hug this a little bit, so I got a little bit of a rubber cologne on my neck, but I didn't want to lay on the ground and get wet. It's snowy and cold, but yeah, super easy to install. So there is the kit you're going to need for the F-250. Again, got a smoking good deal on these on the Zon. And you can see right there what it's saying it's going to help you do. Eliminate some suspension sag. Helps to reduce trailer sway, because obviously you can see if the trailer wasn't in contact with these smaller ones, then obviously, you know, these kind of act as like a sway bar, if you will, but not necessarily as the same, just kind of the same concept. And because they don't touch right now, you're not going to affect your current ride. Last thing is lifetime warranty, so make sure on top of that you keep your instructions, your proof of purchase, your receipt, whatever you got from whoever you bought it from. You can buy them right from Timbren if you want. People buy the Sumos. They're both the same kind of concept. I've had good luck with Timbren. I put these on Chevys, everything like that. And the reason why I went with this over any of the other ones is I'm not going to overload the truck, but I know that it's going to squat, and this will put contact with the axle in 2 more places besides the suspension itself, give me a little bit more rigidity. But I'm going to clean these up when I get back home from this weekend, and we're going to save those. And you know, I'd made a separate video on different kinds of systems, which ones I've had luck with, which ones are easier. Obviously, you've put airbags, that's about a half day worth of work. If you're going to put on these, you know, I did it in like 30 minutes or less. With a lot less tools. If you're going to put helper springs, you're probably going to need a helper to put them on. You're going to take your wheels off, stuff like that. This literally was a quick install. So hopefully that helps, guys, and we're going to see you on the next one. So please do subscribe. We got some great towing coming this weekend, so go ahead and hit the notification, and we're going to put this Godzilla to work.